Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I want to talk about the New England Patriots. The Patriots in Week 11 are 7-4, have not yet played their bye, but they're coming off a very easy 25-0 win. Obviously, all Patriots fans had their eyes today on the Colts and Bills matchup. The Colts won that game 41-15 off of a massive game from Jonathan Taylor. So now the Patriots at 7-4 sit in first place. That's the first time I've been able to say that since 2019. And personally, I did not think I'd be saying that at all in 2021. The Patriots started the season 2-4 and have won 5 consecutive games. It looked like a fluke game for the Buffalo Bills against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now they've lost 2 of their last 3 games and 3 of their last 5. So while the Patriots are trending up, the Buffalo Bills are trending down. So what I want to talk about today is, are the Patriots actually going to win this division? Let's look at it. The New England Patriots, like I've mentioned before, are 7-4 on the season. They've had 5 wins in a row: Jets, Chargers, Panthers, Browns, Falcons. I don't really think 4 of those games are really too impressive. Obviously, the scores say it all. 54-13 against the Jets, 24-6 against the Panthers, 45-7 against the Browns, 25-0 against the Falcons. They beat the Chargers 27-24. That's really their one big win on the season. Obviously, going into the year, it looked like the Panthers and Browns would be tougher games, but no Sam Darnold, an inconsistent Baker Mayfield, and the Patriots were able to take advantage of those games. Now, looking forward, the Patriots do have the Titans, Bills, Colts, Bills, Jaguars, and Dolphins remaining on the schedule. Last week, when I saw the Titans beat teams like the LA Rams and New Orleans Saints, even though the Saints, of course, are dealing with some injuries, it looked like they were going to be able, for the time being, be able to make up for the loss of Derrick Henry. Obviously, Derrick Henry is one of the best players in the NFL, and we started to see the weaker side of the Tennessee Titans today. The Titans lost 22-13 to who I believe is one of the worst teams in the NFL, in the Houston Texans. And the Patriots are going into that Week 12 matchup against the Titans when they're possibly playing their worst football of the season. It's weird because the Titans are 8-3 on the year, and their losses are to the Jets and the Texans. They did lose to the Cardinals earlier in the season, but 2 of their 3 losses against 2 of the worst teams in the league. Now, going into this matchup, who has the edge? You have to say the Patriots. The Patriots have won 5 games in a row. The Titans have kind of been figured out here. So the Patriots are going into that matchup against the Titans when the Titans are playing some pretty poor football. We did obviously realize that no Derrick Henry eventually was going to catch up to them. Here we are in Week 11. And it's caught up to them with a loss against the Houston Texans. Now, the real question here is, if the Pats are going to win the division, they need the wins against the Bills. And what have we noticed about the Buffalo Bills lately in those couple losses? The theme here, really, outside of that Jaguar game, is Buffalo's been getting killed on the ground. When they played the Tennessee Titans, again, it's a Titans team that did have Derrick Henry, which the Patriots won't see in their matchup next week against Tennessee. He finished with 20 carries for 143 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. He had an absolutely unbelievable game against the Buffalo Bills. And most of you who watched the game today, Jonathan Taylor, if you have him in fantasy, congratulations, because there's a good chance you won this week in fantasy football. He finished with 32 carries, 185 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So again, I revisit the question, do the Patriots have the chance to win this division? They're in first place right now. They have 2 games remaining against the Buffalo Bills. One is on Monday Night Football before a bye. Then they have the bye, play the Colts, then play the Bills one more time. So as the Patriots' schedule has been very easy, it does pick up as you get later in the season. Now, here's the question. You look at the Patriots right now, what's one thing they've done very well in this win streak? They've developed a presence on the ground. Whether it's been Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson, or now Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, the Patriots have found an ability to run the ball on the ground consistently. It's helped Mac Jones, and it's helped them win 5 consecutive games. Now, the Bills' defense is still, in my opinion, respectable, even though those two backs have killed them. They're two of the best running backs in the league. It's really no surprise that they have those breakout games every once in a while. But it seems like the Buffalo Bills' weakness, it's showing up, is opposing running backs have found the ability to beat them. And what's the theme here with the two running backs that I've talked about? They're both ground and pound, in between the tackles, physical running backs. Okay, have you watched the Patriots these last couple weeks? All season? Damian Harris and Ramondre Steven are those types of backs. They'll beat you up. The Patriots are great with clock management. The way the Patriots play is not the way the Bills want to face. It isn't. Because what the Colts do well today, establish ability to, on the ground, kill the clock. Okay, the Patriots do that. Okay, what the Tennessee Titans do very well in that matchup, Derrick Henry, 143 and 3 touchdowns. So the Patriots are in an amazing position right now to actually do something here in the AFC. Because when you asked me in week 3 after that loss to the New Orleans Saints if the Patriots could win this division, I said they didn't have a chance. They weren't going anywhere in this division. They weren't going anywhere in the AFC. And I was very low on this team at the time due to how poor they played against the Saints. But ever since that matchup, of course, they did lose to Dak and Brady. You know, many QBs have done that this year. But the Patriots defense has been outstanding. Mac Jones has played much better, more consistent, playing a full 60 minutes of football. And they developed a game on the ground that should terrify the rest of the NFL. So the Buffalo Bills are coming off a terrible loss. Indianapolis is a good team, but 41-15 is freaking embarrassing. And yes, the schedule for the Bills isn't very difficult. I expect to win against the Saints. Watch their tape against the Eagles today. They don't look very good. Buccaneers don't look amazing either, but the game is in Tampa Bay, and Brady has a lot of experience against the Buffalo Bills. Panthers, not great. Patriots, of course, in those two matchups. Falcons suck. Jets suck. They should win 2 games to end the season. But here we are in week 11. Patriots 7-4. Bills 6-4. Pats have the schedule to do it. I told you they'd win 3 consecutive games after that win against the Chargers. And they did. In Bill I trust. Mac Jones looks good as a rookie. This defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. And right now, they have the chance in their hands to potentially win the AFC East. Who do you believe wins the AFC East? Do you think the Patriots have a chance to take the top of this division? Feel free to comment that below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Down the Block Sports for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you very soon.